Okay, Algebra 2, I feel like Section 8.4 has been a bit of a mini series, so thank you for getting to this third and final part of this problem, but I just thought it was necessary. So here's what we did. We had this equation, we were given it, and we were to find a few things. We needed to find the center, the foci, the length of the major axis and minor axis of the ellipse given this equation. So what we did is we organized the equation, we did a little completing the square, and then this little final step where we divided everything by the answer that we got over here. And so, or by everything on, by this new number on the right side of the equation. So we got it into the ellipse form, and then they asked us to have it in a horizontal way. So we got that done. That was all last video. And so now this video, we're just going to talk about how to glean what information we need from the equation. So we got the center being -2, 3, right? Which is clear from the HK situation. The next thing we need to do is to find the coordinates of the foci. So remember, you need to kind of keep in mind what this thing looks like. So I like to draw a little quick picture. Did they ask us to draw it? Yeah, they did ask us to graph the ellipse. So I'm going to probably graph it, and it's going to be easier for me to do so now with the equation, and then that's going to help me out. So let's do that. Use my line to help me there. I'm not doing great, but that's okay. The center's at -2, 3. So I'm going to go back 1, 2, and up 1, 2, 3. So here's the center. Here's that center. And we know that the horizontal axis, so watch this, this is new because we had been just hanging out at the x-axis the whole time. But the major axis is going to be on this yellow line, and the minor axis is going to be on this green line, okay? So how does that work out? So watch this. We know that the major axis is of length the square root of this, so of length 4 times 2. So we're going to go 4 spaces to the right and 4 spaces to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then our minor axis will have me going 2 spaces up and 2 spaces down. And so I'm going to go up 1, 2, and go down 1, 2. So this is enough for me to get, well, this looks a little odd because it's a little short over here, but this is enough for me to get a decent graph of my ellipse. And so I'm going to do like that, come back down here so I can honor that information. Next thing I need to do is come up with the foci. So I have basically everything except that. The foci will be right on this major axis, and it will be steps away from the center. How do I find the foci? Well, I got to go back to the idea that b squared plus c squared is equal to a squared. You remember this from last time. So what is b? B will be the minor axis, which is 2 squared plus c squared. That's what we're looking for, plus the major axis, half of the major axis squared, which is going to be 16, or 4 squared. And so now we can find this value. C is equal to, it's going to be equal to 16 minus 4, which is 12. C squared is going to be equal to 12, and therefore C will be equal to the square root of 12. Very similar to the last problem we did. Now that we've got that, how can I calculate this? So we already said that it's going to be between 3 and 4 spaces over from the center, given our last problem. So 1, 2, 3, here's 4. Our foci will be something like here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Our other one is here. I just jacked this up in terms of my spacing, but you guys get me. You know what I'm doing. And so now I need to figure out what the coordinates are. So I'm going to use the center to give me what my y value is going to be, because I'm not moving in my y direction. So one of my foci will have a y coordinate of 3. In fact, both of them will. So this y coordinate will be 3 as well. But now I've got to figure out what this value is. And this value is going to be this x value plus that square root of 2. So square root of 12 rather. So I literally can write this as negative 2 plus, if you want to write it as square root of 12, that's cool. You could also write it as 2 root 3 as we discussed before. Negative 2 plus 2 root 3. And this one, similarly, since I'm going in the opposite direction, it would be negative 2 minus 2 root 3. Or root 12 as you prefer. So that's how you get those 2 points. I know that they're crazy looking, but that's how you do it. And sometimes having the graph helps you. So did I answer all the questions? Find the coordinates of the center. Yes. Find the coordinates of the center and the foci. We did it. Find the lengths of the major axis. Well, this is clear. The length of the major axis is 8, because we're going from all the way over here to all the way over here. That's a horrible thing, but that's okay. And then the other thing we need to do is to find the length of the minor axis, and I'll try to be a little bit neater. It'll be from here to here, and that'll be 4. All right? I hope that made sense to you. I hope that this is, even if it's not perfectly clear, I hope that it's shedding some light on what we're talking about. We need to have a conversation. We need to talk about this and do some problems together. So let's make sure we do that. Let's talk. All right. Take good care. Bye-bye.